Alright, guys. We got BYUN in the top right side of the map, representing Shopify Rebellion, up against ASTREA. Now, guys, you correct me if I'm wrong. Is ASTREA teamless right now? Or did he get a team? Those in Twitch chat will let me know. He's going to be going low ground gate on Ultra Love. This is the final Kalaris Roddy Steadfast Cup before they did cease and desist the tournament. Bit sad that one disappeared. I heard rumors it was because basically Steadfast wanted to keep it going, but apparently Kalaris and Rotterdam are both evil and hate esports. No, just kidding, guys. I'm not sure why that one fell apart. I think Roddy's been running a few different other fun alternate events, and I really like the way Roddy's been mixing things up with actually community events for average Joe players. Already, though, ASTREA gets a kill there. Very nice. And Rex says, yeah, currently ASTREA's teamless. He was representing Virtus Pro at the World Championship. His contract since ran out, and it's crazy to me that America's most creative, fun-to-watch player is teamless right now. That is actually a little bit crazy to me. Like, ASTREA has so much potential, and he's just one of the most creative and interesting and exciting players in the game to watch, who's got a big rivalry with BYUN. BYUN definitely comes out on top more often than not, but I do think when they're evenly matched, when the game goes back and forth, it is a very good match. Nice, he's going to recall that probe as well. All right, second gas coming in as well. Nexus is on the way. Did we go for a Zealot? No Zealot. He's just going to chrono an Adept across to try and punish the command center building on the natural. Question, though, with the double gas build and command center on the high ground? No, he's going to go command center on the low ground. BYUN is going to drop that command center to 23 on the natural, which means that Adept could definitely cause it problems. And that Reaper should already know. Oh, how am I going to defend that? Oh gosh, almost loses the Reaper as well. He's going to go in here, even though he is one hit from death. Only a single chrono on the first gateway, but that's because he's gone shield battery to defend that main base. Twilight Council is on the way. Adept's going to come in. That command center super exposed. Reapers take a very long time to build, guys. 32 seconds, as they are a lot more powerful than a Marine. But look at this delay on the command center. This was already a very delayed command center build, and now ASTREA going for this build order puts him in such a lead. Honestly, he needs to run away probably with the next Shade. I think he's fine right now, but he should run away with the next Shade for sure, because these other units are going to pop out. You know that's the case. You do not want to throw the Adept away. You've already got the value. He's going to damage the Hellion, which will force a fair bit of repair, and doesn't actually kill anything, though. The Reapers come out, barely shades away, but the Adept does almost die. Great delay, though. Dude, that SCV coming down so slowly. Hellion's going to go back towards the mineral line. Those SCVs are going to try and quickly repair that. And he's going to go into Marines, a factory with a tech lab, and a starport. Now, I don't know about you guys. This opening feels so awful as a Terran, in my opinion. Like, already delaying your command center this long, having your Reaper Hellion spotted, and having your command center delayed even further. It feels like ASTREA can just easily defend with the Adepts and Stalkers on his ramp. He does have to worry about you jumping in the main, except he doesn't, because he opened shield battery. So the Reaper Hellion units that don't scale well feel especially bad in this scenario. And behind it, 2-gate Robo, fully saturated natural base. It feels like ASTREA should be quite ahead in this game. That being said, BYUN's going to go Cloak, and if you don't have any scouting, that could be an issue. But at any moment, ASTREA can warp in a sentry, use energy recharge, and go for that scout. Love that two people in the chat just played each other. Starffer says, Zergburger, I've seen you in this chat. If you're in here, you just got me with this stupid Liberator. I hate you. I love that. I love when two people in my Twitch chat simultaneously have just played on the ladder and just start talking a bit of smack. Oh, that Nexus is taking a lot of damage, dude. You're not meant to lose a Nexus to a Reaper Hellion. Oh, no, he's going to lose it. Cancel. Oh, ASTREA cancels at the last second. But that's a pretty decent delay there, especially if you just lose one Hellion. But, oh, nice focus fire. Adept on the Watchtower actually gets some good damage there. Surprised the Stalker's pulled back, but it actually ends up being a decent bait. I think not too bad to lose that Stalker, getting a Hellion kill. And look at the map vision for ASTREA. Probe and Adept up here. Stalker's here. Really good focus on that map vision. But he's light on the scouting, and that's a big problem, guys. I feel like he should have had a sentry warped in by now. He's got an Observer coming out, but of course those Banshees, where are they? Oh, he's waiting for both. He's going to sneak them both. He's going to go the super delayed Cloak. This gives so much time for this Observer, though, to come in and maybe realize what's happening. Stalkers are there on the front. Tanks building as well. That's a third gas, second and third barracks. So it's going to be Charge and Robo Bay after Blink for ASTREA into just a standard 3-rack setup for Mr. BYUN. Actually sneaking down the right side of the map. Tanks, Marines, and Reapers on the front. Stalker's just going to set up a very soft contain. Third Nexus looking a little vulnerable. The Banshees will slide in from this side. As long as they cloak before the pylon sees them and slide right into the natural, and that's where they reveal themselves, I think that'd be the best move, because there's not many probes on the third. So I think you got to cloak these Banshees sooner rather than later. Oh, Stalkers see the move out. Marine tank, even bringing SCVs. Banshees do not cloak. He did not cloak his Banshees. BYUN going to reveal this very early. He does find 3 probes. Marine tanks thinking about pulling back right now, but they're actually going to change their mind and go forward. The Observer gets recalled. Banshees moving from the third to the natural. Banshees are faster than Observers, remember. He does not have detection there right at this moment. Lots of damage going in for BYUN. The Marine tank not really wanting to commit. They're just wanting to, it looks like, hang around in the middle of the map, maybe catch some Stalkers, be a nuisance. That being said, BYUN's not building stim or shield, so maybe he is committing to this. He's just taking a long time to push through the middle of the map. Looks like he catches an Immortal. ASTREA. He rallied an Observer forward earlier, forgot to change the rally point. His Immortal stumbles into the enemy army. These Stalkers getting hammered on the map as well. And ASTREA, yes, he kills a Banshee, but he loses 23 probes, an Immortal, multiple Stalkers, and he just feels like this game has turned into a hot mess. Look at that units lost tab. For one Banshee, I think ASTREA is just dead here. BYUN didn't have a great start to this game, but it felt like ASTREA just didn't fully realize what was happening. That Immortal's getting hammered. Remember, these are the nerfed Immortal as well. They attack a little bit slower. Tank, Marine, Banshee on the front. Stalker's struggling to hold on. He's still got 3 gate with charge. If he whops in 3 Zealots and charges on this, he actually could clear this army up pretty easily, assuming he has an Observer. Oh, I don't know where his Observer is. He blinks forward, gets a tank, but then the Cloak comes in, defends the Banshees, and one has to wonder, why didn't he wait for a few Zealots there before going for that, guys? I don't think there was anything crucial that was under attack right there, right? I think he should have waited for Zealots. This feels very sloppy for ASTREA. It feels like he was shocked by the situation he's in. He's panicking a little bit, and now with BYUN repairing those Banshees up, going for a 4th and 5th barracks, he should be in a really good spot, right? Stims on the way, Marauders, Marines, tanks, 51 workers, which is far too many for 2 base, I guess, but, you know, he's still building them. Probably wants to stop building SCVs, BYUN, since he hasn't started a 3rd command center, and he's 10 workers ahead above 2 base saturation. He's also building a bunker, which I find bizarre. I guess he's worried about a potential counterattack, which is weird when you're doing a 2 base all-in follow-up, but I guess with no stim, it is what it is. If ASTREA fights back from here, I will be staggered. These Banshees could come in and do good damage. Where's the Observer? Observer's in the natural, man. He's got no Observer. These Banshees, if they cloak and go in, they kill 10 probes easy. Colossus on the way. First Disruptor's out. You don't want to shoot around a corner, though. He's got to bring that Disruptor from the left if he wants to outrange the tanks. BYUN goes into the Banshees, and he's just tooling ASTREA right now. Go back to the dead space, BYUN. And he's going to just dive. BYUN's decided to sacrifice, I guess. No, he does go back to the 3rd base. And Stalker blinks across the gap. Nicely done. There are more Stalkers up there. They could easily blink on that as well, and they will do so. No. ASTREA, there we go, does finally slap those Banshees down. I'm surprised these tanks are still here, guys. BYUN should definitely be trying to get these out, but he's going to try and kill what he can before that happens. And no split fire there for ASTREA. The tank's getting multiple extra shots off, killing 2 Stalkers that they really had no business killing. And now with Stim finishing, shields finished, +1 done, Medivacs, Bio, tank. It's time for BYUN to move out and finish the job. Supply is still dangerously close. The Marine Marauder army seems pretty small. BYUN's macro was kind of oddly sloppy here, guys. Oh, Disruptor shot comes forward. Tank does take damage, but the Colossus, what was it doing up there, mate? What was that Colossus doing? Multiple robo units getting rallied into the middle of nowhere. And it feels like ASTREA, feeling that he's behind, just got way too fancy in this game. He has to GG there. And we've got to watch that again. Like, what was this a rally point? What was going on with that Colossus, mate? Yeah, it's just on move command. You can see it's just told to move there. Oh, and he's just busy microing the Disruptor and everything else. That Colossus just walks to its death. Really unfortunate for ASTREA. Everything falling apart very quickly. Alright, guys. BYUN in the top right, going gas first this time. I love me a good gas first build to mix it up. Honestly, the Adept opening was so fantastic for ASTREA. I think this is a classic. Like, ASTREA has the clever, better opening, punishes his opponent based on his studying and expectations. And then BYUN clicks some things good. ASTREA fumbles a few times, right? The Immortal rally was really big. The Stalker's kind of missing the army move out and getting behind the army. I think ASTREA really fumbled by getting those Stalkers behind the Marine tank. Maybe he did it on purpose, but I don't know. It felt like he was thinking about blinking into the main and then got distracted by the Banshees. And obviously, those first Banshees coming in. I mean, I think the biggest thing that ASTREA made as a mistake that game, guys, is just not making a sentry. After his first 3 or 4 units, he should have made a sentry. Oh no, he's going to go Cybercore Nexus, but he's going to find out he can't build a Nexus. He's probe scouted, and now he finds with his own probe at home the engineering bay, and this is rough. He did damage an SCV a little bit, you know, delay the opening. He's going to go take the front purple gas base because he knows the other one's blocked. Now this base, you can literally get your workers on minerals sieged from the other side. Taking this base is a good idea if you're someone who likes to drink vodka for breakfast, guys. So, you know, if you wake up and you think, actually, to be fair, I really shouldn't be judging. Little aside, for anyone who takes this, obviously it's insane. Like, they can just kill your workers with a single tank down there. It's crazy. It's impossible to defend this base, in my opinion. We'll see. Maybe he makes some magic happen. Maybe he goes like Stargate Phoenix Salad or something and swarms. I did for breakfast this morning. I've got to own up to something. I'm not judging. If you guys had vodka for breakfast or something, I did have cookies and ice cream for breakfast. I'll admit, we cooked some fresh choc chip salted cookies the other day, and they were getting a bit hard by the end of yesterday because it's been a few days. So I was like, damn, I got to eat these quick. So I decided last night I was having cookies for breakfast. I had 4 choc chip cookies, and what I did was I microwaved them just a little bit to rejuvenate them. Like I kind of just, you know, brush them with a tiny bit of water, microwave them a little bit, put them in vanilla ice cream, and I put a scoop of peanut butter in there and broke them up. So it was homemade cookies and cream ice cream, basically. And it was amazing. It was the best breakfast ever. I am riding high on that sugar. I'm turning 36 in a few weeks, guys. I'm an adult, and honestly, you know, people like, they think when you become an adult, it's not what you would expect it to be as a kid. It totally is. For any children out there watching, like, trust me, the greatest thing about becoming an adult is sometimes I can buy a jar of Nutella and I can eat out of it with a spoon because I feel like it. Like, you can do exactly the things you think you would do as a child when you're an adult. You won't do it that much, right? Because yes, there's like these physical effects that happen. Like, I do need to go run a half marathon this afternoon to make up for that breakfast, but I don't give a shit. It's worth it. It's, excuse my French, it's super, like, there is something about the freedom of being able to just, you know, hurt your own body, do immature, dumb things that as a child you would have picked to do and still do them as an adult. It's fun, man. Freedom is great. 3-gate blink is on the way right now. Notice he skipped the robo because he felt like, look, I just need more units because I know this base is so hard to defend. BYUN is going to do that tank push. Now, okay, guys, check this out. ASTREA taking that base. He's baited BYUN into doing the exact push I talked about because he's going to do a Marine Widow Mine drop to open up, and then he's going to rally a tank across and siege this base. But ASTREA is going to go so hard on 3-gate blink, knowing that BYUN is going to do this. And look, the Adept's already distracting him, keeping this drop pinned back. ASTREA is happy to sacrifice this Adept as long as it delays this drop and allows his Stalkers to get in the middle of the map, because now he can intercept the drop. Now, BYUN should be careful. He should realize he's been spotted. You do not want to boost this through the middle of the map. You will get caught by Stalkers. And yeah, ASTREA is basically saying, look, I don't have detection, but I've got 3-gate blink really early, and he's YOLOing. Oh, he's going to take big splash. No, not worth. Takes the second shot. Stalker's heavily damaged, and the drop slides around him. Needs to warp in Stalkers in this main base. He needs to do it right now, guys. He's got 6 Stalkers and a sentry on the map. 3 more Stalkers warping in the main. Blink's almost ready. But I think this is actually clever from ASTREA. ASTREA has basically purposely leaning forward with his head, showing a target, and he's trying to bait BYUN to knock him out. And BYUN's really tempted to take that bait because he's got the drop here, but he's realizing, okay, you are ready. He's still building tanks. He's building a Liberator. He's just going to shove that low ground and siege this base up. I wouldn't mind charge being on the way for ASTREA. Oh, ASTREA finds it with a hallucination. Blinks on top. And look at that. Hallucination even takes the Widow Mine shot. That's a huge start there for ASTREA. This is it, guys. ASTREA with the 300 IQ takes the worst base of all time and then uses it to bait BYUN into being hyper-aggressive and shuts it down, skips the robo, goes straight charge and forge with a 3rd base now coming up. And ASTREA's in a good spot now, man. He's in a fantastic spot because BYUN is super committed to tanks, but he can't move out because he lost his medevac. The Stalkers are on the front. The Stalkers dive in. Not enough to one-shot the tank, but that's okay. They do some decent damage. He's got to pull these Stalkers back. Remember, he doesn't have a prism to pull back the weak ones. He gets himself a few units, but he does lose 3 Stalkers for it. There are still 2 tanks in the main. Another one's going to move to that natural. Liberator comes in, does kill 2 probes. His purple gas has been denied. Sentry comes in. It wanted to force field his ramp. It's not really going to be able to do that much as the tank siege is up. The Stalkers will pull back. Liberator's got to be careful. BYUN, that is an F2 if I've ever seen one. That's an F2, and he does correct the F2 there. The old redundant APM cycle. going to blink in the main, but there's 2 tanks there. Don't go in there. Don't go in there, ASTREA. Okay, ASTREA wisely backs away, realizing this is a no-go zone. He could technically blink up there, pick off a few depots, maybe get out, but it's very dangerous without a Warp Prism. May have to use recall to get in and out. 3 more gateways are going to come in. That's 3 gates up to 6. Liberator's going to fly into the main, but if he's got a Warp in available, and he's actually got 3 Stalkers there, you can even just tank the Lib. As long as you blink out there, should be fine. But he's actually saying, please shoot me. But 3 probes go down. Good focus fire. BYUN actually gets a bit of damage. The massive delay on stim and shields and the commitment to 5 siege tanks in this early game with no way to siege them up on the Protoss base. Big problem for BYUN, guys. Really big problem. And I think there's an argument that BYUN shouldn't have bothered with the Widow Mine. Should have gone straight into the tank a little bit earlier. And I think with that drop especially, he should have really made sure he just kept it safe in the dead space, keep a bunch of Stalkers pinned at home, and try to sneak those first 2 tanks and Marines out across this map. But with a gas first build, your barracks is delayed, your reactor's delayed, and you just don't have that. He wasn't non-stop on the Marine production in the early game because of the engineering bay and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's why his Marine count was maybe just slightly lower than it would be off of some other build orders. I'd need to check the replay to see, but my instincts say that he wasn't non-stop building Marines, and that's why it was so hard to squeeze out with his first 2 tanks. 3rd Nexus on the way, or 4th Nexus, I should say. Psystorm as well, and with the Robo coming up, he can make a Warp Prism. Observer into Warp Prism would be standard here, and then you can load those High Templar up, storm the heck out of his army, and have a good time. Now, interestingly, ASTREA is going +2 attack. There's a really strong argument that +1 armor is the better upgrade here when you're playing Storm, because you are going to be very Zealot heavy. You're already on 9 Zealots. It's faster to upgrade. It's 50 minerals and 50 gas cheaper. And I do think if you're not going Colossus just yet, it's a much more important upgrade. Oh, here we go. Zealots, Stalkers, Sentries coming forward. Here we go. Tank goes down. Another tank goes down. Does save one of the siege tanks and some bio, but these Zealots and the Guardian Shield were brutal, man. You got to save that extra one. Stalker on the top side does hit the medevac a few times as well. Great ambush there for ASTREA. He's got a 2nd Forge coming in now as well. He's going to go from 6 gateways to 8 gateways. We've got that 3rd command center about 3/4 of the way done, but it's not landed yet. And against a guy whose 4th Nexus is finishing, ASTREA ready to fight back from behind. Isn't this so funny? ASTREA got a great start into, Ultra Love, and ends up losing that game and flailing and falling apart. This game, he had what I thought was a pretty dodge opening, and he's turned it into a perfect position. Did he take a gamble? Did he play a weird opening with the hallucinations combined with the early Blink Stalkers? No Robo, yes, but oh man, has he used it so well to set up for this game. And he sees an SCV pull, and he just keeps pulling back, dropping Storms. And remember, guys, he's going to have energy overcharge. He overcharges the High Temple that's warping, and it's got 2 Storms available. If you guys thought SCV pulls used to be broken in OP, try making Storm against them these days. If you make Storm as standard and you got energy recharge, man, these SCV pull builds, they already struggled versus Storm. They are so much worse these days against Psystorm. It's a little bit desperate for BYUN. The Widow Mines do get some good shots. 1 medevac does go down to Widow Mine friendly fire. Warp Prism is still on the other side. If he can warp in his Zealot flank, that could be amazing. More SCVs being pulled. Now, guys, if you guys sign up to the military as an SCV, you get drafted. Now, remember, if you're in a modern military conflict and they hand you a drill or a spear or a sword and say, get to the front lines, here's my hot tip. Mutiny, abandon ship, face the firing squad. Trust me, anything's better than being one of these SCVs. You have one job, and that is to soak up bullets. It's not going to be a good time. It's to get Psystormed on your face, Zealots to chop you to pieces, to buy your Marines and Marauders a split second of time before that gets together. And this is why the SCVs are actually hiding in the back. I'd like to see them repair these medevacs. Looks like they're going to try to. The bio's on the front. ASTREA's going to send those Zealot flanks around that right side. He's giving up this base, which I think is probably the correct call. You're up against a 2-base player. You don't need a 4th base. You can rebuild the 4th in the bottom. Just look for the correct engagement. And look, these Zealots should kill that Widow Mine really fast. Very nicely done. Cleaning up those Marines and Marauders. Marines and Marauders are really good versus Zealots, guys, as long as you're microing them. As long as they're in a big ball with medevacs and they're stutter stepping. But anytime they get caught out in a messy position, you can see that Zealots are an amazing unit. +1 armor is now started for ASTREA. He does have double forge. I'd love to see +3 attack, or maybe even Plasma Shield start up there as well, as there's no money for ghosts in this game. High Templar, 1 in the Prism, 3 on the ground, Immortals there. And this is Zealot mass running around. 26 Zealots on this map. BYUN, his 3rd command center is done. His main's half mined out. He's even pulled off gas in that main, which I'm a little curious about. I guess he just pulled so many workers to the front that he doesn't have many left at home mining. He's trying to go back to mining now. He's thinking about playing a longer game, but as the upgrades scale. The double Nexus building here for ASTREA. He's going to be in a great spot. Stalkers come forward there, and tanks are in the open, but they blast a Stalker. High Templar, easy pickings there. He's going to try and grab 2. ASTREA saves 1 of the High Templar. The other one does go down. Whoo. I love the imagery of the Zealots running after a few Marauders, only to end up facing the whole army. Yeah, there is a bit of an Abe Simpson moment for sure. You're going, you know, hang your hat up on the coat rack and then turn around and take it off and say, I'll be leaving. That's a lot of bio, but with no ghosts, 1 or 2 storms could end him. Not just that, the medevacs are out of energy, and oh my lord! Holy storm of storms. Oh man, damn. The Tempest right there, just the tempestuous storms, just giving so many problems. Good handling. Very nicely done there by ASTREA. Handles the Widowmine drop. Where is High Templar though? He's only got 3 guys. He's got like 2 High Templar and a Zealot Warp and getting ready to flank. You set up a good flank, it'll be good. Energy recharge on this High Templar, so it's got 2 more storms available. Zealots, so good when they get the surface area. And they do. They're on 2-1 up against just +1. A double upgrade advantage for Protoss. He's going to go for it, guys. No, he isn't. Storm gets a few SCVs. And remember, getting ready with the Zealots. He's got to watch out for that Warp Prism. We'll get a decent hit on the Zealots. Bio Army's about to get surrounded. BYUN is all in. 38 workers. It's now or never. Good pre-split. Nice to see a Terran pre-split. He's going to have to do that again. He has to pre-split this army or Storm's going to ruin him. ASTREA just giving up ground right now. Just refusing to take a bad fight. It's a good call, man. I do like that he's playing like this. Oh, and BYUN keeps F2ing his army and keeps rallying to the front. He's got to group up enough units at home that he can deal with this. He has to pull this army back. He's going to try and move his tanks to this high ground. This Nexus is going to go down as well. BYUN's actually getting crazy value here, dude. Please don't tell me this is going to be one of these disgusting 2-0s where... Like, BYUN's been a dead man walking for the last 7 minutes of this game, and he's just like, he's still got equal army supply. If he gets ASTREA to mess up enough, it could still work. Energy recharge on that High Templar. We'll give it Psystorm. There we go. Instant energy recharge into Psystorm. Another Psystorm. The medevacs! The medevacs are getting boomed. They're so damaged. Mass Zealot counterattack at the same time right onto his rally. He needs to win this fight, does BYUN, but he's getting overwhelmed. The medevac's out of juice, out of hit points, and he drops High Templar on top. You know when a High Templar drops on your army, Psystorms it itself, and then picks back up into the Prism, and then rinses and repeats, you are in trouble. ASTREA does tie up the series 1-1, and taking what I consider to be the most dangerous, crappy to take base of all time, actually works out in his favor because of his Adept delaying the drop, and then the Stalkers intercepting it. And setting up with that, delaying the Robo to get 3-gate blink pressure, ASTREA did a really good job of controlling the map. All right, guys. BYUN in the top right side of the map. ASTREA in the bottom left. We're going to Amygdala. That's right. It's a long rush distance map. And BYUN is going gas first eBay block 2 games in a row. You know, guys, how I always talk about how you shouldn't do the same strategy twice in a row? But then how, like, occasionally it's so unexpected it can actually work out in your favor. Because, like, it's so rare that you would do that, like, people would never expect it. BYUN criminally overuses this, where he will so regularly do the same build twice in a row that ASTREA has no one to blame for missing this and not being ready for it but himself. I love you, ASTREA. This is a huge oversight. Okay, he's going to... I think he wanted to go Nexus before Core. He's going to realize, okay, I guess I can't do that. I have to go take my 3rd. Normally you want to go Cybercore here, but he doesn't want to get blocked. He doesn't want to have enough money. So he's like, oh, I think I get this Nexus down, get the Nexus down. He doesn't get it down, he gets blocked. He builds a Cybercore. Oh, wait, double eBay block? Okay, BYUN, you're just trolling now. ASTREA just ends up ahead if you build 2 eBays, doesn't he? Maybe, maybe not. I guess it's BYUN. As long as you don't lose the SCV, you send that home. You're going to cancel both of them anyway, and you're always floating minerals at this point anyway as a Terran player. Dude, this is hilarious. So ASTREA has to take this base up here. And now, once you see that, you want to cancel them both. So BYUN should be canceling these pretty soon so he can build his command center. Dude, is he not going to cancel either engineering bay to make his command center? I mean, that's bad. Come on, mate. BYUN, your command center is so delayed. Okay, I mean... So, usually if your opponent commits to a double block, guys, people lose their minds against this in low leagues. And they go, well, how are you meant to stop it? And you go, you just ignore it and just keep doing a normal build. Just take a different base. And as long as you spend your money, you're completely fine. Because they've wasted so much money on these engineering bay blocks that they're just like miles behind. He should have canceled this one much earlier, in my opinion. And now he cancels the natural one as well. You do get 3/4 of the money back. The thing is that slows BYUN's build down so much. He's going to be slightly supply blocked. It looks like he cancelled another depot he was building behind the minerals. He's going to go factory into second barrack. So it's looking like a big 2-base push. He sees the third base over here. Now, did he just get a second probe? Dude, the Reaper's killed 2 probes. That's pretty bad for ASTREA. That is actually really bad for ASTREA. ASTREA's going to go 3-gate. Oh, and killing the probe means no forward pylon. I mean, ASTREA can defend with 3 gates, but if you can't get aggressive with it, this is so awkward. And look at this pylon he built out here because he was expecting to take that nexus. He wasn't expecting a second eBay block. Oh. Dude. This is a weird game. He's going to float it out. He's not going to make orbital straight away. Bit of an odd choice, but I guess he's a bit oversaturated in the main already. Cyclone's on the way. But the Phoenix sees everything. And this does feel like a very limited play for BYUN. Keep in mind as well, they'll be playing on the PTR, I believe, which means Cyclone lock-on range is not great. Reaper gets itself a probe. 3 probes for the Reaper. Sees 3 Stalker Warpins very early, and that tells you all you need to know as BYUN, which is just play defensive. So as long as BYUN doesn't miss a beat on SCV production, probably goes for, yeah, bunker, engineering bay, tank, starport. You don't want to hit a push until about 7.5 minutes. So earliest, probably, yeah, about, I'd say 7.5 minutes. Basically wait for stim shields, your first 2 medevacs, and that's when you can push. Because, you know, he's building a lot of units, but his blink is slowed down. You don't really need to... You could be greedy against these early gateways and actually only build 1 tank and just go straight for, like, swap the 3rd barracks onto the tech lab. The reason you get away with that is because, remember, with blink being so delayed, you know it's a 3-gate build. You can't blink in, right? 1 tank with the bunker should be more than enough to defend. Who's in a better spot now? Neither. They're both on 2 bases. ASTREA's 3rd base kind of sucks right now, but once he takes a 3rd in between, it's not too bad. It's a very defensible area up here. Yeah, there's a bit of terrain. Terran can set up tanks behind or whatever, but it's fine. It really depends what happens next. Cyclone needs to get out of there. Oh, he's going to go for the sentry snipe. Oh, he gets away from the Forcefields. And rather than saving the Cyclone, he's just going to sacrifice it to kill 2 probes. Almost gets the 3rd, but not quite. That's very annoying, though. Getting a sentry there and 2 probes, not bad. And 3rd Nexus does go down. Now, ASTREA's playing no Robo, so he has no detection. But he's got 3-gate blink coming forwards. And remember what I said about you could be greedy because blink's late? BYUN's going to do just that, but you do need to build Marauders to make up for it. He needs to go double Marauder production because Marauders plus Stim will punish Stalkers if they blink in here. And it looks like ASTREA is thinking about getting aggressive. I don't think it's a good idea because as far as he knows, there is extra tanks building, right? We know the tank stopped building. He does not know that. He's thinking about a 4th base in the top left potentially. ASTREA. Oh! He dives, but he accidentally attacks the bunker with his first volley. He's going to lose 2 Stalkers, 3, 4. Bad move for ASTREA, guys. I don't think it's worth killing a bunker and a tank for that. Remember, Stim's now ready as well. But I guess with only 1 tank, he could do some magic now. I wouldn't mind a Stim on the Marauders here for BYUN, just to push away these Stalkers. And you can see ASTREA loses an extra Stalker there. Yes, the units are damaged, but with 2 medevacs about to pop out, bunker halfway rebuilt, BYUN's completely fine. ASTREA's only on 48 workers. Yes, his 3rd base is coming in. He's adding a Robo. Feels pretty decent, but ASTREA's going to tax him. Gets 2 more, 3 more Marines. Those Marines should be pulled away. This should just be the Marauders fighting. And pull back the weak Marauders as well. Ooh, BYUN's micro is really bad, guys. This is uncharacteristic for BYUN. He just threw away 5 more Marines. He maybe would have lost 1 Marauder, but it's way better to lose 1 Marauder than it is to lose 5 Marines. He does, though, pick up, loads up a drop the moment those Stalkers disengage, which is big. 3 sentries warping in, 3 more gateways, Forge, and a Robo. ASTREA going to now take the probe lead, but where is that 3rd command center? BYUN supply blocked for a moment on 78. Does get on supply blocked, and 2 more medevacs begin building. Drop trying to sneak into the main base. If he can unload in the corner of the main, that would be good, but his boost is still a few seconds off cooldown, so he's got to be very careful. You don't really want to attack straight away. Let them all unload in the secrecy of the corner and then stim in for the workers. That's the big value, especially with a Marine focus drop. Marauders are a bit better at focusing down pylons and the like. And just get out. Just get out. Why is he still in here? Oh, I thought he should have ran away. He's going to get a Stalker. 2 Stalkers. And he's going to grab 1 more probe. Can he get another one? Not quite. 6 probes, though. And a two Stalkers. That's fine. That's a perfectly okay trade for BYUN. The problem is his 3rd command center is very delayed. And with ASTREA's 3rd now fully saturated on minerals, Robo Bay on the way, ASTREA's got a little bit more progression. BYUN is going to take the gold base. I hate the gold base against Protoss. I think this is a really dumb move. We've seen multiple players try to take this gold base. Problem, guys. if you put tanks behind the command center, Colossus can still kill all your workers. If you put tanks in front, they can get blinked on and killed. So it's a very exposed base. I get he's like, oh, my third's late, I want to focus on that. But I never agree with that gold base. I think it's such a high risk position. Oh, BYUN, run. Oh my god, BYUN, you crazy guy. He's gonna lose a full medevac. What psychopath flies through the middle of this map? I've talked to you guys for the last year about how BYUN's defining characteristic in this matchup is suicidal drops. It's BYUN literally being like, let's just go for a casual fly over our opponent's anti-air missile site. He does this all the time. Obviously, his thought process was, well, it's the middle of the map. You're going to have units on the edges, so if I fly through the middle, you'll never expect it. But he does get punished, and that is the high-risk, high-reward play that makes playing BYUN so infuriating as a Protoss player, because you never know when he's just going to do a chaotic, crazy move like that and be willing to throw away half of his army. Like so often, you'll be skirmishing with him. Say the Protoss army is here, Terran army is here. If you pull back even an inch, he'll load his whole army up and boost through the middle of the map. And if you happen to move south, you'd catch his whole army and win. But BYUN is a very good read on knowing when his opponents will and won't do that. So he gets away with it a very high percentage of the time. He has this like, these kind of just on the edge of insanely dangerous, greedy plays that he always goes for. Fourth Nexus coming up in the top left side of the map. Second Colossus is now on the way. Extended Thermal Lance as well. +1 weapons is done. Forge is idle for the moment, but we'll see how it goes. We've got Zealot up here behind this base. Big bio army. Ghosts now being added in. Widow Mines are up front. You're going to watch out for the Forcefields. Great catch there for ASTREA. Those Widow Mines ain't going to fire. Bunch of Marines and Widow Mines go down and traps 3 more Marauders. BYUN should try to save those. He's going to try, but he loses a different medevac. And more units getting trapped by Forcefields. Oh, you gotta watch out for Forcefields. This is what I'm talking about. He doesn't even have tanks. Why did he take this gold base? It's because he thought he could have a forward position in the middle of the map, but he can't. And ASTREA is ripping him to shreds with Forcefields, using the range of the Colossus. BYUN just a little bit too greedy in this game, going for that gold. And now ASTREA has a dominant position. Second robo coming up. Only on 4 gas. Normally you do want to add a 5th gas if you go double robo, guys, especially with the second forge coming in. As you can see, his gas count's very low, and he's not even using the first robo right now, so something to fix up. +2 finally starts after a big delay. ASTREA's had very good engagements, but his macro has been just a little lacking. Of course, when your opponent's third's only landing at 10 minutes, that's fine. Similar work accounts, though, and BYUN supply is still quite scary. How many ghosts have we got? 3. Ooh, units lost tab is great. 1,000 resources for ASTREA favored. Usually it's Terran who's ahead in the resources lost. And with Colossus out and not many Vikings on the field, it's going to be really bad for BYUN. Disruptors out here. We've got 2 robos and they're not doing anything, showing that ASTREA's build is really not lining up. He's got 4 more gateways to go, 12 gateways, but he's still only on 4 gases, and I really do think that's an issue. He's going to find this new 4th base building on the gold. That should be cancelled. That should be cancelled. BYUN just stims forward to try and punish. He lands some nice EMPs. Disruptor takes out a ghost, though. Disruptor's up front. Colossus going down to the Viking. Another unit, an Observer, I think it was, did go down up there. Stalkers, Zealots, Immortal trying to hold on. Actually, I think it was the Warp Prism, not an Observer, that went down. Dark Templar are inside the base, though, guys. 1 in the main as well. 1 in the natural as well. SCVs turn their drills on the Dark Templar, but I'm telling you, man, Dark Templar are absolutely aware of the SCVs and able to smash them down. Forcefields go down, maybe not completely necessary. 26 SCVs go down to the Dark Templar at the same time. And now BYUN finds himself completely hamstrung. He's unable to put any weight on his legs right now. His economy's being chopped out from underneath him. He does have an army supply advantage, but actually pressing with that, I mean, it's so hard. It's an 80 pro Protoss who has a 5th base up the bottom. That 5th gas we were talking about is finally here. ASTREA's needed that for a little while. It's probably more important to err on the side of being mineral heavy, because more Zealots is kind of the most important thing when you're not quite maxed. Which is why you'll see Protoss players sometimes banking a bit of minerals a bit low on the gas, because having extra gas, it's a nice bonus, but having enough minerals to mass Zealots and gateways is probably the core of a solid PvT. More Observers coming forward, skirting this scan. Marauders, Ghosts, Marines. Only a couple of Vikings in there, and the Colossus are being rebuilt. One's out, second one's on the way. Still a couple of Disruptors in the army as well. ASTREA looking very confident on these new maps. That first game was a good start for him as well, remember. If he didn't, you know, completely miss the Banshees and everything, I do think this could have been a 2-0 series, and we're seeing now this game looks massively favored in his regard. BYUN gets very front on, very omnidirectional the later the game goes, right? He loves to just shove down the front once you go splash damage. I'd love to see BYUN mix it up. And in these late game stages, once in a while, send a triple drop squad around the south, you know, go clear up the watchtowers, fight for map control. Because I feel like right now ASTREA just sees too much of what's going on. Harder to do in actuality. Oh my lord, those force fields. The Marauders actually kill both disruptors, which is kind of crazy. But still, losing way too many units to the force fields. This ramp has been a danger zone for BYUN. But BYUN is addicted to gold right now. It looks like we're watching Hero try to play Terran. BYUN just keeps going up that ramp. He's going to try and break the rocks to make it a bit less of a dangerous area, but ASTREA's force fields have paid dividends in this game. It's coming forward. Zealot army is big. Still no +1 armor for those Zealots. The upgrades for ASTREA really have lagged behind this game, but his engagements have been excellent. The Colossus are exposed. Good pullback. Gets the Marines down with the Colossus. Zealots spread against the Widow Mine. You can see the way he sometimes pulls the Zealots back, so lets the Colossus go forward. When the Bio comes forward, the Colossus pull back, the Zealots go forward. There's a real advanced dance here in high-level micro in 2024. ASTREA coming forward. Colossus going to try and deal with this. Marauders, Marines, and Vikings coming forward. Another Colossus does go down. Good snipe there for BYUN. ASTREA getting a little bit too cocky. He's taking his 6th base now as well on his own gold. ASTREA is as rich as they come. He's going to 16 or 14 gateways. I think now's the time to build about 10 gateways all at once. He should be warping in 20 plus Zealots the next time a fight happens. Stalkers get a medevac, a Viking. The Disruptor gets itself a ghost. 3 Marauders knocked to 5 hit points. Yes, the Colossus taking damage. The Prism goes down. But you know what? The Vikings are falling. The Colossus both survive, even though one of them's deep in the red. And he's got a very good army, does ASTREA. The Zealots pull back for a moment. The Bio goes forward. And BYUN gets drowned in Protoss. Really nice openings for ASTREA. A few moments where it got a little bit dicey. But at the end of the day, he shuts things down, gets control over BYUN, and doesn't give up the advantages once he gets there. GG, well played.